There are lots of ways to create data in today's digital world. Everyone and everything seems to be generating a lot of potentially useful data, but turning that data into information and sharing it so everyone can collaborate is not always that easy. On most minds, big data is a myth. The reality is we are so overwhelmed by the variety and velocity of data coming at us that there's little more than a big noise being created. What everyone really wants is the ability to effectively share information without any technology barriers. Of course, merely having data available is necessary but not sufficient for the productivity gains we need. That's why we really need a platform that goes beyond mere data sharing and helps us to turn information into actionable insight. There are of course many ways to conceptualize the gradual evolution from standalone expert tools to modern integrated enterprise systems. But we see a lot of rocks being advertised as supercomputers out there. That's why we want to give you some guidelines to weed out the pretenders that will leave you struggling with old-fashioned tools in a modern world. The first thing you need to understand is the concept of decision latency. In our diagram, this will refer to the amount of time you find acceptable to assemble data into actionable information and generate new plans. Our second axis represents your organization's readiness to capitalize on a low latency information environment. It is entirely possible that you may be very low on this curve, but you should never implement systems that cannot support your desired latency or enable the enterprise maturity you're aiming for. Standalone applications are characterized by the fact that they focus entirely on serving single disciplines and are therefore bad at exchanging information or supporting complex organizations. Over time, these standalone applications became smarter and started exchanging data via point-to-point interfaces. As an example here, the planning application receives data from the geology tool, even though it takes a lot of work to ensure you're working with the right file and the data is in an exchangeable format. Some software providers have started to assemble collections of expert tools into suites. Even though they still share file-based data, at least the interfaces are better known and more effective. Don't be fooled though. These are not modern platforms because they still depend on ETL-driven exports and imports, and unless you buy all your applications from that one vendor, you are essentially not much better off. Moving away from focusing on function only, MineRP started to build a platform that manages all your mining technical systems data in one spatially integrated, standardized platform. The reason why this was a big step in the evolution of mining technical systems is because we allowed mining companies to use their software of choice while we take care of the information exchange, security, and standardization protocols. This meant a significant improvement along the latency curve. Modern platforms like MineRP 4.0, ERP platforms such as SAP, and many modern IoT platforms provide the ultimate in low latency data exchange and enterprise process optimization because they have evolved beyond the focus on function and data only. They exchange information and provide for automation and seamless collaboration because they expose programmable interfaces that can be called by the enterprise as data becomes available. Simulations need to be made and decisions are to be implemented. There are lots of reasons beyond latency and enterprise readiness why platforms perform better than loosely coupled or fragmented expert applications. MineRP believes that there may be many perspectives on the truth, but there should only be one set of facts, not hundreds of versions in hundreds of files, and that the inordinate amount of work required to collect and process the information critical to the optimal functioning of the mine should have been dealt with long ago. In the end, we understand that mines are less interested in the technology behind integration. To you, it's about delivering an integrated digital mining enterprise that delivers safe, productive tons at the least cost and to the highest quality.